We actually met like probably about four years ago, I think. I think we decided. And we were both seeing other people at the time, and so we weren't really on each other's radar at all. You know, we didn't end up really seriously starting to like each other probably until about I don't know, the end of summer last year. When our hearts were both really ready and everything. So yeah,
I agree. The first date was kind of split into two different ones. Right when I got back from the summer, I went to like a summer training program, like a work study. I got back and probably within, I don't know, a week, I was just like, let's catch up. And so I took her to Old Chicago, and it was just a lunch, and it was just friends. It took about a month. I didn't really do anything or say anything, and then all of a sudden I just came into the Jaeger, which she was managing, and I was like, when can I take you out again? So we went dancing. It was our first real date that was intentional of like, hey lady, I want to get to know you better. And so it was good. We went to the Whiskey River in Greeley and just did some country swing. There's a live band there that night. It was a Thursday night. And through that whole semester, we went dancing quite a bit. I guess the first initial thing that I saw was just her heart for others. Starting to get to know her better, that just overflowed out of her. Just how much she cared for others, and then I could see that she also cared for me. She prays. She's a prayer warrior for other people, and it's just everything about her relationship with God attracts me even more. Like every day I see her, just when I hear her pray and I hear her talk to God, it just it melts my heart. Our sense of humor. Both of us just laugh and laugh for hours and hours. She is the cutest little woman in the whole world. She has brown eyes that when the sun hits, they kind of look green, and they have this little green tint. She has short brown hair that is so soft. Every time I look at her, I just see how beautiful she is, and by far she's my most favorite part of God's creation is her. And I tell her that as often as I can.
I think what really drew me from being, hardly knowing each other, acquaintances, to even just a little bit further was just his personality and his soft heart. You can just tell that he's a sweetheart and just very warm. He's just a warm person. He's perfect for me. I love that he's my teddy bear, and I would say he's probably about a foot taller than me. When we hug, we fit together like a puzzle, and it's great. Most of all, I mean, he's just a really wonderful man of God. He's a gentleman. He's very respectful. I've never, opened the door or anything for myself. He's always there to be chivalrous, and he's just so affectionate and loving and caring, and he always lets me know how he feels about me and tells me that I'm beautiful every day, and just tells me that he loves me, and just the way he looks at me, I know he adores me every second. And long story short, when we first started dating, Will...
December 10th.
Will and I had discussed how I wanted a real Christmas tree in my apartment. So, and he's like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'll take you up to the mountains and I'll cut you down a Christmas tree. And on the way up, there's this beautiful aspen grove. We got out, and that was the first place where he told me that I was beautiful, was up inside the trees and everything. And so fast forward on to our engagement, he brought me back to that exact same spot in the aspen grove. And we were up there for a friend's wedding, and so the next day, it was a Sunday, he told me we were going to church. So
it's like one of the 2 lies I've ever told her, but it was...
So he was like, you know, we're actually kind of early for church, so you mind if we just take a drive? And so we're driving up, and I don't know, it seemed like it was at least a half an hour of driving.
Yeah.
Up, you know,
for sure.
up to where we were at, and I didn't know where we were going, and I didn't even think about it until we just turned this,
Hairpin.
switchback, yeah, our hairpin turn, and it's right, you know, like you turn and there's the Aspen Grove, and like right as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. And we stop and I look over, and there were red picture frames nailed to the aspen trees and like a little pathway up. And
the morning of my buddy's wedding, I got up early with 3 of my other groomsmen, that now they know they're groomsmen, but we went up and just built a trail like in the Aspen Grove. It took about 2-3 hours. Then we drove down, just so excited. So 2 of my really good friends, Katie and Jacob, they went up a half an hour before me on the day of the proposal. And so that's why the drive took so long, is because there's a time frame. I told them that I would be there at 10:30 on the dot.
And so he, you know, I'm looking and he goes, hey, and I turn over and he says, I love you. And he looked right in my eyes and said, I love you. And we had previously discussed not saying I love you until he proposed. That was just something that he wanted to do. And so he went out and got me out of the car, and we walked up the little pathway that they had built. And on either side there was photos of me growing up and then him growing up. And then at the top, he had set up a table with the ring setting on it, and he had a Bible sitting there and a picture of the 2 of us together.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said something along the lines of, I want to be able to call you beautiful for the rest of your life. And got down on one knee and said, Robyn Glossop, will you marry me? And I said, yes! I screamed and jumped a little bit.
I'm looking forward to absolutely everything. I can't wait for the first time I get to cook her breakfast. I can't wait for the first time that we get to just walk in the park as a married couple. I can't wait for the first time I get to say, hey, this is my wife. There's just so many things. And of course, you know, start talking about having a family, which we have been already, and then having kids. And I can't wait to hold my first son or daughter or whatever it's gonna be, and just be able to start that whole aspect with her too. So everything, I guess, I'm excited for in marriage.
What we're really excited for is to literally become one. You know, we're going to be together all the time. I really do look forward to when we are ready to have kids. Just seeing what kind of dad he's going to be, and just seeing how that changes our relationship, and just hoping to to stay in our honeymoon phase. We've talked about this, how we hope to embarrass our kids with our PDA and just still, you know, show love and affection, you know, just to make sure our kids know that we're in love, and we always have been and always will be.